Welcome to Gray Areas for July 15th, 2025, episode 681. As we mentioned in last week's pre-recorded episode, we are now back live. There's at least a couple of you in the chat already joining us. Welcome to you. Welcome to everyone. If you send messages, I'll put them on the screen. I got it all ready to go. We got a few different topics to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about some TV stuff. Dave is in the chat, even though he's not here. He's traveling for work again, I think. He's traveling for something.
No, he's just on vacation.
Yeah, I don't remember what was
He's just
what.
on family vacation. That's why his dog's here.
That's right. We have his dog. I don't think he's going to make an appearance. He doesn't come upstairs very often. He has, but
He's too fat. I mean, to be honest, he just can't make it.
that's tough. It's a tough look for him. We might as well jump into one of the subjects I wanted to talk about, and then we'll get to some of the Emmy stuff when Sean says why Bo is there. Get him on camera. Well, again, we'll see. He doesn't want to come up very often. He's been up here a couple times. He's been in my room a couple times. But happening as we speak right now, live, is the MLB All-Star Game. And I have to say, it's doing a couple things that I like a lot. You're not going to do this all the time in some cases, to be clear. One thing is they're like messing with the automatic strike zone in this setting. Obviously, it's in play in the minor leagues. It was in play in spring training, but this is the first time on this kind of a stage where we've seen it, and it's been used a couple times, and it's gone well. It's been a quick review. It's gone smoothly. The other thing I like, and again, this is really just for an exhibition and not for regular season games, but they've had some of the players mic'd up. So they had like Clayton Kershaw on the mound pitching his inning, or I think 2/3 of an inning, and they were talking to him from the booth as he was pitching, like giving some input as far as like, hey, what are you going to throw next? You're going to double up on that curveball? Like, and you also got Kershaw making some smart-ass remarks. He gave up a pretty hard liner that Kyle Tucker happened to track down, and he was like, oh, that was a sick sliding play. Like, he's having a good time. Baseball needs more of this. Oh, Bo. He went.
Bo.
He was there, but he ran.
He's coming back.
I'm not calling you. He's oh, God. He's here. I didn't call you. He did.
I hate that guy.
On
Look at
record,
him.
officially.
There's a Corvo.
Yeah. He had a banana off the table.
Yeah.
You were
he would do
warned.
that.
I feel like you were warned going in, as he just interferes with Chris's.
It's fine.
Thing.
All I was saying was the players being mic'd up in the All-Star Game was great because they need to showcase more personality in the game anyways. And it would be nice to do that for basketball as well. But I'm concerned that in basketball it's just going to be a bunch of like swearing and a bunch of hell no and a bunch of stuff like that where it might not work out as well. Maisie says he's so cute. I feel bad I bailed on Sean to help taking care of him. Well,
You bailed on everybody. You bailed on everyone. It's not just Bo and Sean.
when I got home a little bit before the show, he was out there walking all three of them. So you did sort of leave him high and dry. Anyways, that was the main thing. Mic up the players more often. Again, I'm not saying every game or stuff. And I know, like, the NBA does it, and they have the little segment where they'll play it back. But that's much less fun because then it's, like, edited. And I'd much rather have it live. And then if people say something weird or something that needs to be muted or whatever, you got a 7-second delay. Make use of it.
What's the
What did I
score?
miss?
I'm not even paying attention.
Baseball?
Yeah, baseball.
I don't
Just
know.
baseball.
NL was up 2-0 in the second. I don't know. Not paying attention. Don't care.
Wow.
Actually, everybody got mad because they put in the pitcher who can throw 105 miles an hour, and people said he didn't deserve it.
Well, he hadn't earned it also.
That's
all I've heard.
That was a long story, but yes, that did happen because he's only made 5 starts in the big leagues. But then it turned out later on that like they offered it to 10 or 11 other pitchers and they all turned it down. So it's like, well, you can't be mad at the kid for saying yes if they offered it.
Right.
Maybe you shouldn't be offering it to him. I mean, Skeens last year got it after 11 starts, but he was also dynamite in those 11 starts. 5's pushing it, but again, hating the kid is silly. But that's how today's society works. We hate. Uh-oh. Mad barking downstairs. I think Siri likes having Bo here more than she doesn't, but there are definitely times where she's like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
Yeah. He's a lot. Anyways, so the warning was food, and I suppose a banana is food, right? But like it was in the fucking. I went grocery shopping. I left a banana on the center of the table, and I come home. There's a banana on the ground.
So are you about to argue that it's food, but it's inside of a wrapper, so it shouldn't be edible yet?
Yeah, but like if it was, yeah, I guess I just didn't think.
Sean learning the annoyances
Of
the
bad dogs?
of the breeds of
Yeah.
dogs that just find ways to fucking perpetually eat forever and ever and ever. it's a little funny because like I've been there and I understand your agitation, especially when you probably haven't had to deal with this level of fat ass energy just regularly.
Yeah, he kind of didn't warn me. Well, and that like Bo's very sweet. It's like he wants to spend all his time next to me.
Yeah,
and that's sweet and that's nice. And then he breathes like fucking like pedophile in a park, and that I'm like, you got to leave. I can't do this anymore. I need space.
And he stops if you pay attention to him.
If
you pet him or
family
something,
dog.
the breathing stops, and then the second you stop, it immediately resumes, like he's having a panic attack.
To be fair,
Maybe it is. I don't know.
this very large amount of dog is used to 5 people being around to split his attention, and now he's stuck with you 2-ish basically around the house.
He also drinks water for 3 minutes straight, and I don't know if that's normal. He's a big dog, but like he's about twice the size of Siri and drinks about 30 times the amount of water.
And he's adjusting to high elevation, which he's not used to.
Yeah.
Because he's exhausted from existing and the high elevation, which is why he breathes harder.
This is all fair, Cody, but I had him in Phoenix. It was the same thing.
Okay, well, you know what? It's hot. It's hot in Phoenix.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm just here as a neutral party.
You're Bo's advocate. You're his defense lawyer.
No, because I'm also saying he's guilty. He's just not guilty of the worst charge. It's like when the lawyer goes in and I'm actually just appealing to the jury. My client's guilty, but not of capital murder. It's actually second-degree murder. I don't want my client going to the,
we're gonna make
the electric chair. I just want 20 years in prison.
I want to put Bo in the electric chair.
Yeah.
That's actually
that's where I'm coming from the person who's dealt with very fat labs, which are I mean, one step away from golden retriever, basically, in terms of like how the breeds work. And I've dealt with this for since I was, 10 years old when I had my first yellow lab.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm trying.
He's not losing any weight at all. I have him on the diet. They told me diet. He hasn't lost any weight.
Sean is disappointed in his own abilities as a personal trainer.
I'm walking him for like 30 minutes a day. It's not doing anything.
Are you weighing him every day?
No, I just look
How are you gonna look at him and see like half a pound drop? He's too big.
I don't want half a pound. I want like 20 pounds.
So you're gonna try and get 20 pounds in 3 weeks?
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's like The Biggest Loser. It's like fucking Bo's summer vacation. Bo's family leaves to go to a beach and hang out together for 3 weeks, and Bo goes on The Biggest Loser with Sean running a fucking Nazi camp to make him lose weight, where he can't breathe at the elevation.
He didn't get to go on vacation.
He can't get his fat ass up the stairs to love people nearly as much, and he's got 2 other dogs who are quicker and smarter than him, bullying his ass the entire time.
Not to mention that Sean is desperate for him to lose weight and then leaves a banana on the table for him to eat.
I know.
So it sets him back for a whole day's
Literally,
work.
I was like, that's not fucking helping.
Are you, Sean, have you seen the feature film Heavyweights starring Ben Stiller, where he runs a fat camp? Because it's starting to feel like that's what Bo's in.
But I've seen The Whale with Brendan Fraser, and it feels like that a lot. When the scene where Brendan Fraser goes and opens all the Snickers.
I don't want to say. I don't want to spoil the movie.
Doesn't he die at the end? Yeah, he does.
I was like, doesn't he die at the end?
Yeah, he has a heart attack at the end of the movie. And you're like, if only you could have seen that happening. And I look at him and I'm like, that's Bo.
But I mean, Brendan Fraser got like a 15-minute standing ovation the first time that film was shown in a big public setting. So like,
where's Bo?
Is it the actor who has a happy ending, or is it like I don't know?
It's funny because like Maisie used to be the one who had this fat phobic behavior of just hating fat things and being disappointed in them, and why are they alive and existing? And yes, you definitely should look down there and see what the fuck is happening. Did he take my shoe?
I mean, it sounded like he knocked over the baby gate some way or another.
Well, he did that.
I don't know if there
was down there.
Don't know if there was more than that, or
I don't know if Sean's gonna make it.
It doesn't sound like it, but I mean,
I don't even know where I was in. Oh yeah, Sean is clearly taken from Maisie's book. Yes, makes you sad and angry. Of just being disappointed with fat beings, apparently.
Evidently. She's changed over time. She's not the same that she used to be, but
She's not here. Maybe it was Sean all along, and his influence has left.
I mean, there's a certain point where like both Maisie and Dave are here, so they have a chance to make themselves known and kind of argue their own case. But then again, if I don't put it on the screen, does it happen?
Hey, I mean, you're allowed to just put the comments on as you want.
Yeah.
They can't. They don't have any control. They can just yell into the void.
So far, we're 100%. Also, it looks like Maisie is our top fan.
Of course she is.
She's got a #1 and a crown.
She's in like
Let
Bo.
me just, there's also a bitch about this. He fucking knocks the gate down. You know what my dogs don't do? They don't. Every once in a while, they'll jump over it. He just barrels through the gate.
He's aware of his ability. So that's what he did. He
I
knocked
hate
the
that.
gate down.
He's a bad dog. That's the thing. Now, I love him. He's a sweet dog. I blame the owners.
So it's like the chaotic evil chart thing. He's like chaotic. I don't know, good, but it's
Chaotic good.
Is
Yeah,
that
sure.
what it is? Is that
but
how
like,
it's phrased?
he just does whatever he wants. Okay, at night, I'm like, it's time to go potty. If he doesn't want to go outside, even though he needs to, Cody, because he can't go like 5 hours without peeing because he drinks so much water. So I'm like, you're either going to wake me up at 6 a.m., okay, or you're going to go outside right now. And he's like, I know, I'm not going to move. And he's laying down. I'm like, Bo. And he's just flat like he does, like a bear rug. And I can't get him out the fucking door. So I have to like carry him outside.
He doesn't want to go outside.
That's not his decision. I'm the owner for now. I'm the interim owner.
You like a very rigid, specific type of household, and Bo's just not used to that. And you're not going to break him. He's going to break you. He's actually already breaking
Apparently,
you.
Bo is the head of the household in Phoenix. There are no rules.
Should we adjudicate this when Dave is back and decide?
Probably. Anyways, that's all I had on Bo.
Probably has to be you and I, though, Cody, because Sean's got his own stake in it.
Yeah, I
Like
mean...
Dave's like the defense attorney and Sean's the prosecutor, so you and I have to adjudicate.
Yeah, I think so. Like, is Bo good or bad? And based on behaviors and things. And
He's a bad dog. He is a bad dog, but he's a sweet dog.
I guess we don't have to continuously go over this, but I am curious if he's acting out in some way because his ownership is and his family is gone. Because dogs are unfortunately known to do that when they...
Yeah, I don't blame him. Right? He was abandoned.
He's been abandoned by his family.
By every one of them.
Having so much fun without him around.
5 times the pain for all of his... I'm not going to kill Bo.
Well, you threatened to kill him downstairs.
Oh, yeah.
And the microphone picked it up, so...
Mm-hmm.
You said it very loudly.
Yeah.
I'm going to kill you. Yeah.
I've also said it to my dogs plenty of times. So I've said I'll
We
fucking
have
kill
to
you.
I
sometimes.
say it to my dog all the time.
So
I haven't killed him yet.
yes, I am curious if he, because how many days into this are we? Like 10 now? I think it was last weekend when he was obtained.
It was last Sunday, so like, yeah, like.
Well, last
8.
Sunday, 2 Sundays plus 2 days. Today would be the 10th day.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Under your reign.
10-ish days, yeah.
So we're halfway about.
Yeah, he's never been groomed. You can look at him. He looks like.
Okay, now we're gonna get into Dave's parenting ability of the dog.
He looks like a fucking, like, you know, the orphans like in like Oliver Twist. That's Bo. Poor guy, never gotten a bath in his life. So I'm gonna do that this weekend. I wonder what that's gonna be like.
This is just absolutely fucking heavyweights fat camp. So much. And I can't stop laughing.
No, I like to think it's like he's on Queer Eye, and I'm giving him a makeover.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna cut his hair. I'm gonna give him a new look.
I'm gonna leave my dog, who talks back, here with you, and she's also fat and annoying and doesn't listen. And I want to see how much she drives you fucking crazy, because unfortunately, she is like the smartest breed in existence. So she is clearly like plotting and calculating on you.
Fuck with me on purpose.
And so like that, like my dog would, I think, break you even faster than Bo, because golden retrievers are kind of smart, but they're also kind of stupid, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm gonna get Bo a new drip. That's what I'm gonna do. He's gonna be hot after this. Then maybe finally he'll find a family that actually loves him.
I look forward to this being played for his current family, who is going to be devastated.
Why are they gonna be devastated? They're the ones that abandoned him. They don't care.
Okay, that's fair. I guess we should move on and stop the sadness.
Maisie was asking for the full hour, but it does feel like it's running out of legs.
I mean,
I could easily go, but let's not.
Give
Let's
Bo
not.
5 more minutes downstairs, and Sean's gonna chase
He's
his
gonna
ass.
do something. Yeah. He's like, no, I won't.
Did you put all your fruit away?
Yes,
or the
I put
counter's
all the
clear?
fruit. I did, and I like cleaned. There's just slobber everywhere.
Yeah,
It's
that
just-
one.
it's
That's just what they do.
It's just like his mouth is just like really big and wet.
And they drink, and then half of it spills out.
Yes.
It's actually why like I change the water regularly for my dogs because it ends up being mostly drool, and it's like this is fucking.
Well, Syrian
disgusting.
Corvo won't drink the water.
Yes.
Because he goes in, slobbers all on it. It's
Yeah.
50% dog spit,
Yes.
50%
And-
water, and they're
and
like, I don't want that.
I can't handle that. It's like I go and change dog water like.
Well, then I
constantly
change
because
it
of
and I
that.
put it back down, and Bo goes and drinks it again.
that's why I just
Oh,
changed it when I was
more
downstairs
water
because he
for
went
me.
over,
He-
goobered it, and I was like, "That's fucking gross."
He just
man.
like vomiting a backwash in the water.
Vomiting.
It's crazy. And then I have a separate bowl for my dogs. They're like, no, this isn't our bowl. So I'm like, okay, so you don't like the new bowl. You don't want your old bowl. I guess you're going to just die. You know? Okay, I'm done now. I am done now. I don't have to be done, but I can be done because we have other stuff, I think.
Maybe.
I don't know. You're on your phone. I'm assuming you're either checked out or looking up the next
No,
topic.
I'm setting up stuff. I was making sure I had the stuff
What's
pulled
next?
up for.
What's next? Do you want to
Well, I
take
saw
us?
Emmy noms. I just assumed it was.
Take
Emmy.
it. Take it away.
He
Take it
no
away.
sold a baseball topic, so God knows how much he's paying attention.
I was checking the score. I wanted to know my league is winning. It's great. Why don't you just dive into Emmy
Did you
nominations?
just check the score of the All-Star game?
Yeah, when I was winning.
Who
I
cares?
have 5 players in it.
You don't even get home field advantage anymore, thank God.
I know. I will just get home field advantage anyway. That's when I'll start paying attention and care again.
That's his favorite show. That's good. We have
Does
one
this deserve it?
person-
Does this deserve an Emmy nomination?
All right, take it. I mean, now Maisie might care actually a little bit about this because she watches some of these shows.
How do you want me to start? Do you want me to start with just that they came out today?
Yeah, came out. However you want to do.
I decided to. I spurred this conversation, I think, in our group text earlier because I wanted to pat myself on the back, and then tried to find out when I referenced the show, and it was I think like 4 episodes in when it had been on because the studio ended up with tying the record for comedy, blah blah blah, whatever, which is weird because in the story originally I read it was like, oh, the bear leads comedy, and I'm like, but did you forget that the studio's comedy? So I think that everyone forgot that until they flooded all the way out.
You said blah blah blah. Emmy
It was the
nominations.
the Emmy nominations like
That's
story. I was reading it this morning as it was coming out, and I was like, this isn't coherent and doesn't make sense. And then I waited to send it until like they were done coming out. But obviously, like Sean and I have battled back and forth of shows and this and that, and we ended up covering, I guess, a handful of the ones back in I think it was like April when we were like looking ahead to so far in 2025 or looking ahead. I think the show was like April 22nd, and so. The show that I had pitched as a suggestion to watch, especially for Sean, who likes the movie industry, which is why we're talking about Emmy nominations right now, is the studio starring Seth Rogen and a lot of the people he creatively works with pretty often, ended up tying the record for comedy. And that kind of triggered, I think, an interesting conversation, which we should kind of just rehash now in a way, of that's a unique comedy. And again, Sean, you touched on this with like how The Bear is a different version of comedy compared to what you think, and you're correct.
The dilemma with The Bear and why we thought like, oh, why was there so many nominations for studio? And part of me wonders The Bear being a really good show, but like the big controversy is like it's not it's. Most people thought that should be a drama, and it's a drama with some funny moments, but it's a comedy and it's cleaning up. And people thought something like Abbott Elementary, of course, is going to lose to The Bear because they're different pedigrees. But also, why is The Bear even in this category? Because it's a drama.
Which I think is like the problem we have in general with prestige level TV. I mean, I have to go back and see like, because like Only in the Murders in the Building keeps getting nominated for comedy as well. And I like that show, but that just, I don't know, as we've gone, I'm like, that's what they keep recycling into comedy over and over again. It feels like there's been a hole for what is basically like, I equate it to R-rated comedies that I kind of grew up with. Like I got through the 40-Year-Old Virgin, Knocked Up, Superbad, Pineapple Express, the whole Apatow experience for the most part, going back to Anchorman. I mean, again, as well, Anchorman's not rated R, but it spurred a lot of that other stuff. Mm-hmm. And that's what the studio basically is as a comedy. And it 100% is a comedy with like, well, there's some stakes in it, so that makes it I guess, a drama vaguely in little bits, but The Bear is like the complete inverse of that, to where you're like, it's like 90% drama with some smart ass wit to it that like adds comedy and tries to break probably really uncomfortable moments of that show. Do they try to leave? I mean, I guess still haven't watched it as much as you've agitated me for it.
You know, it's just fine.
But they try to break that dramatic shit with like comedy and smart ass crap, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
there's jokes.
Yeah, and there's just jokes written into it, but it's supposed to be people being mean to each other, is my guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always felt like when we talk about like prestige TV level of like what, like we get into like comedy and stuff like that, and it's been, I mean, it used to be like what girls used to win, if I'm remembering right. Like Marvelous Mrs. Maisel won, I want to say, a couple years running for that. Veep used to always win because it was just a really vulgar, mean to each other comedy, but like it used to clean up a lot of the time. But then there's always been the things like, and you mentioned Abbott Elementary, it's like, well, Modern Family used to win a decent amount when it was at its height in its like seasons, I don't know, 1 through 5 or something like that. And that category is just weird. It just feels like a really weird category. And like that started the whole conversation we were having of, it feels like the studio picked up, because again, I love the show 100%, but it even outpaced how many nominations I would think it would get, because it feels like it's like rewarding it for being refreshing and the type of thing that we haven't had in a while. Because it's not even nearly as mean or vulgar as like Veep is, but since like Veep finished, like we've had a gap of space of like that type of comedy.
Well, and like the committee, it's very not politically. They have agendas, right? So like they will reward or punish certain actors. Adam Sandler, I think, infamously did not get nominated. Did he get nominated or did he not win? One of the two for Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems, yeah.
Because they were like, because he made a comment about the Academy, basically like, oh no, yeah, I think you did get nominated and you didn't win. And he said, if I don't win this, I'm going to make the worst movie ever. And it was largely reported the Academy didn't like that, so they didn't vote for him. So there's like a human element in there. So was this, is the studio being rewarded for bringing back that type of comedy, for Seth Rogen showing a little more acting chops?
Yeah.
That given the opportunity to show a little more acting chops, it could be a combination of all of that. But I think it's kind of cool, and it's really good for Apple. They're kind of killing it.
I mean, Apple's got Shrinking and the studio on for comedy.
Severance.
And then it's got Severance, and I think that Slow Horses show, I want to say. I think Apple's like for at least for the last year or two, it feels like that's the TV station. Like that's where the consistently
TV.
Like if you're going to subscribe to something and you want like good quality, well-produced content, it's like, well, they got 4 shows of we have 12.
Well, last year it was Hulu was surprising because they had The Bear and Shogun.
Oh yeah,
and now it's like Apple TV. It's like a lot of, and like Severance again. Like I really do think only one person on Earth did not like last season, and he's sitting here on the podcast.
I don't like any of it because I've never watched it.
Severance.
Oh, Severance. Yes,
yeah.
I gave it like a C. It's fine. I don't even mind that some of them got nominated for acting.
I feel very validated because it's leading.
It's
drama
got the most nominations. I think it's all. I want to say.
I think so, and it deserves it.
It always gets weird because they list them in one number. Yeah, like so you have that number, and then I have for like acting and like directing.
There's
or whatever
like
the basic
main
shit,
ones,
10.
and then there's the smaller stuff, which is why the studio has 23 nominations, but kind of like 5 in the categories that really matter.
Yeah, I was gonna say the studio has 7 listed for the version that like of the things I looked up deliberately for the stuff that we care about for the most part, I guess, for lack of a better term. Severance has 10 with White Lotus. They're both at 10. And then Adolescence that shows is 8. Penguin, The Pit, and the studio all have 7.
I want to talk about that.
Yes,
that's cool too.
Which is in second with all the nominations with 24, has one more than the studio.
And
they're
in their own. It's in its own weird category for being limited series and things like that, which lends itself to where it's probably going to win a chunk of stuff because it's in there. Because White Lotus has to be in the serialized version because it's had multiple seasons. So Penguin's up against what is even in its necessary.
It's also the way the seasons work is annoying to me because Penguin and Severance season 2 coming out different years.
Yeah,
but and/or season 2, all different years, but like it's in the season. So it's
weird because it's like the end of last June or last June to this May,
something like that. Yeah,
something like that. And so like that covers with how prestige TV and streamers work, well, you can dump all of your content. Like, I mean, the studio just started in late March and then finished in May, just in time for its full season to be under consideration. But on the flip side, if something ran early June of last year into like August, it is in the same category as this because that's the year. And again, I get it's the year calendar, but it does feel like it's drastically different seasons of TV at that point. When we're
Chris, can I go on a tangent really quick?
Yeah.
Because Dave said he doesn't. In talking about the studio, he texted, "I don't like Seth Rogen."
He did.
So like that's why. And it occurs to me like I don't understand, and I want you to explain it to me because you have this too. Like how you can be like, I don't like that actor, so I'm not gonna do it. And it's not like, oh, the actor's always bad, so I don't want to watch it. You like have a thing where you're like, there's just something about that, even when the actor's good. Because I have actors that like their face annoys me or whatever. I wish I had an example. I can't think of one right now. But if they're good, I'll be like, cool. Like, and I'm still gonna watch it. Jack Black, you're like, I don't.
Well, I got more. I mean, Jack Black's just because I don't think he's very funny. I don't think he's that talented in general. But like the real example I can give you is Bradley Cooper. And Bradley Cooper, I don't think Bradley Cooper's a bad actor, but there's been a couple experiences of watching stuff, and it has soured my like taste of it so much. The one for Bradley Cooper is American Hustle. I really did not like that movie.
Yeah, you told me about
and again, I won't like relitigate that, but it's like, and I don't even think it's all his fault. I think it was the directing and the writing. Like that movie just like it soured me on him so much that I like struggle to escape that experience, and like it's like trauma in a fucked up way of like for lack of a better term. It's like I see him in a role and I struggle to remove him from what pissed me off and like being like, wow, man, that movie theater experience like sucked. And it's hard to like bounce out of that. It's why, for example, I don't mind that he's the voice of Rocket Raccoon. Because it's just his fucking voice and I don't see his goddamn face. And it's like it's not him physically acting. And so like that's like a weird thing. Like Mark Ruffalo is this a little bit too, although I've been able to ease off of him a little bit because I think he's been decent in a couple other things I've seen him in. So like I really didn't like him in this movie The Kids Are All Right years ago. And so it's like it's just like
I love that movie.
I really love that. I actually really love that movie like a lot. And I just thought he's also a sleazebag in that movie. Yeah. And like it really rubbed me the wrong way. And I'm like, wow, he kind of is gross. But I've dealt with him as the Hulk often enough to where.
Well, so like Chris, is there an actor that you are, or actor? I'd say actor or actress, of course, where you're like, if I see them, I don't want to watch the thing.
The one who came closest was Aziz Ansari.
Okay,
because his character was so insufferable in Scrubs.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
And I've heard people are like, he's really good in stand-up and stuff. I'm like, I bet I'm not going to find out, just because it was so annoying in one particular role. Now, I'm not saying that I think he sucks, but there's something about like seeing his face it brings in this flood of memories where I'm like, oh God, like
And I feel like Dave's approach might be a little bit different because I just don't think he likes Seth Rogen's humor, and so like because Seth Rogen did some of the same, but because like I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, Seth Rogen's an amazing overall actor, but like, look, Funny People wasn't the best movie. Seth Rogen's like pretty solid in Funny People when that's like a more of like a serious dramatic type turn inside of comedy. And he's done some other stuff to where it's like, look, he's not just like, I'm smoking weed and being dumb over and over again like he was in his first handful of movies. He's got a little bit more range as an actor now, but if Dave's experiences were like, watch Pineapple Express, watch 40-Year-Old Virgin,
which are both great,
and Seth Rogen's the side character, it's like, do I really want to handle him as the main character? Because like Knocked Up's an example, is he's now the leading role. He's still kind of playing that same character actor. It kind of rubs you the wrong way. It's like, that's why in the text message it was like, well, he's the boss and he's actually kind of the sane one in the studio. And he's kind of like the schlub who keeps kind of fucking up and just really likes movies and wants to make movies, and it's like the whole I want to do good work, but I also have to like make sure I don't get fired, rock in a hard place thing, and that's mostly what the studio is, and he does it really well. Like he genuinely does act in that really well. But if Dave's just experienced like Seth Rogen as like stoner dumbass loser, like that can get old. But like then to your point, it's like, did you try him out in a different type of role to see if you could get away from that? And like I've done that a little bit with Bradley Cooper, but probably not well enough to get by that. Like I did not watch A Star Is Born, and that's unfortunate because like that movie is supposed to be pretty good, Obviously, it won
Yeah,
awards.
but he's a dickhead in it.
And the problem is he's also a dick. And like, honestly, that's like he's played a dickhead a couple times.
Yeah.
Like Silver Linings Playbook, I thought was a really like it was just kind of a gross role. I don't even get into that whole movie vibe. I'm like that just kind of weirded me out.
I kind of like that movie too, but
with the
it's weird.
age difference thing, just weirded me out.
Yeah.
And so he's just kind of chosen shit where I'm like, man, like you end up being this kind of like dickish but hero thing. And again, that's why like him as a raccoon is fine. And I got sad in his acting as a raccoon in Guardians 3. Like, he did a fucking great job being emotional from a voice perspective.
I think, like, I like certain actors where if they're in it, I will want to go see it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have, like, I think someone like Tilda Swinton, although it's not her, and she's going to catch this stray from me. Not Frances McDormand. Who's the other one that's like both of them? She was in Hereditary. I hate her face.
You always look it up because I know exactly.
I hate her face. About. Like she bothers me, but I mean, she's a really good actress. Oh, it's right on the tip of my tongue. It's not going to get there, so you're just going to look it up.
She's the star of Hereditary.
Of Hereditary, yeah. Frances McDormand's great. I don't have an issue with her.
Tony Collette. You're talking about Tony Collette? Yes. I was like, I know exactly.
I see her name, and it like she rubs me the wrong way, but I'm never going to be like, I'm not going to go see Knives Out because Tony Collette's in it.
I think I've tried to let go of that more over the years. And
am I influencing you?
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's like, well, they're especially if like it's like, well, if you told me and you're like, hey, this movie is going to get an Oscar nomination most likely. And Bradley Cooper is the star in it, and he approaches this role different than other stuff you've seen him in. I would go see it, 100%. I would go see it because it's like I don't think he's a shitty actor. I will give it a chance, and hopefully that movie is so good it starts to erase Hustle and Flow, and like that's just like
American Hustle.
Sorry, yeah, American Hustle. What? It's just taking time for to erase that because it's like that's one of the. I've never walked out of a movie, and like that movie was just so grating. It's the closest thing I ever got.
Yeah.
And I still to this day can't even remember like
I didn't hate it.
Did I go into that movie in a bad mood and then like it wasn't what I expected? There's something there, but I'm like, man, that movie going experience was so bad. And it's one of the few times I've been like, wow, why the fuck did I pay to see this?
And I think sometimes with actors, I mean, we've mentioned both Jack Black and Seth Rogen in this. I think there's a certain type of actor or actress where they fall into typecasting enough to where if you think you've soured on the experience, you're kind of out.
Yeah.
Jack Black has a lot of varied roles in his career. I mean, he's very different in like School of Rock than he is in Jumanji.
Mm-hmm.
But for some people, Jack Black's just the ha-ha funny loud music guy. And they're not really willing to give him a second chance once they think they don't like the taste. Seth Rogen's kind of the same thing. You mentioned like the stoner head image that he's got, and that's like half of his movies.
Yep.
For some people, this is going to be the first chance to see him do something that's a little bit different. But other people are going to hear that same voice, hear that same fucking laugh of his, and they might be like, I'm out. Another person that comes to mind, Jane Krakowski, who I feel like does the same thing in everything she's in. And I like her overall, so it's not like it's a negative, but I just wonder if some people write somebody off and they're just like, you know what? I don't need to know if they change because I don't think they're going to. I give up.
I'd be fascinated by like everyone's list of this, of like, how did you get soured so much on someone? And I'd be like, oh, but did you see them in this, and this? Because again, there's like, I have actors who I don't think they're the most amazing actor ever, but like, I mean, we watched Fall Guy last summer and I still like this movie so much and I could go back to it. I'm like, Ryan Gosling has been in so much different shit and almost everything I see him in, whether he's a tremendous actor or not, I'm like, he entertained me. Yeah. Like every single fucking time. And I'm not saying he needs to win every Oscar every time he's in something, but I'm like, I'm going to go see his shit because I'm pretty trusting that whatever vibe he's putting off, I'm probably going to enjoy it.
Robert Pattinson lately has been that
he is so, I have like bitched and moaned about that. Going back to Water for Elephants is the movie that really, that one like really, that was a weird movie, but like that was the one for me with him. I'm like, I will give him a chance because I don't think Twilight's written very well. Yeah. I don't think that's what he can do. And I went and watched that, and that was however many years ago. Then we got into his indie scene.
And in the Lighthouse, Hard Time,
watched
Batman.
Like I have watched almost every Robert Pattinson movie.
And the inverse can be true. And I mentioned Aziz Ansari, like Ed Helms for me is a funny guy who's like really thoughtful in what he does. I've seen him in interviews. I've seen him in other things. I found Andy to be so insufferable on The Office that I have a harder time getting into things with him in it, even though he's not that character and he's not the same in a lot of different roles. Just something about that experience is just like,
that's such a good point.
This is a quick aside, Chris, but I don't think you watched all of The Office.
No.
So he was insufferable, and then he kind of got better and then became even more
More
insufferable
That's what I've heard.
in a different way.
If it was bad for you in like 3, 4, 5-ish range,
That's where I saw the majority of the
and then
episodes,
he mellows out and he kind of just fades into the background for a little bit. And he's actually, when he's the early on part of the manager, he's like almost a straight man
and
when
then they
Michael
make him
Scott leaves.
the villain.
And then he's the horseshit villain for the back end of 9 and 10, I think are the numbers were like the back end.
Yeah.
And he's that's a great example. He's broken for me. Like that he as an actor
It's
is
really tough.
is
yeah.
really, really tough. And like I've tried to watch him in a couple like indie comedy type like lovable things, and man, it's a tough one.
And he's not insufferable because of something he's doing. It's the way the character's written. If anything, he's fulfilling it too well. But for some people, that might just be a bridge too far.
Which is funny because like my Bradley Cooper thing also goes back all the way to Wedding Crashers.
Yeah.
Like he is the prototypical piece of shit dickhead in that movie, and I'm supposed to hate him. And I can actually appreciate, wow, he did such a good job in that movie as the villain of the dumb comedy. And that, unfortunately, I think had always carried a little bit of like, man, is that really what he's gonna do?
Yeah. Here's a cool question. This came up on the hike in Washington, so Doug will recognize this. I mean, he might be able to help me remember a couple things. The question came up: which actor do you think is like the best? And not just like what movies do you go see, but like the most talented, where every role is not just the same. And a good example of this would be, I think, Denzel Washington, where always like, oh, he's electric, but so often ends up just playing Denzel Washington, like kind of like himself in every role, with very few exceptions.
I have an answer right away.
Badass, yeah.
So
I have an answer immediately.
the question that came up, or the answer that came up on the hike, I think you'd be very fascinated in. I want to hear your answer first, though.
Matt Damon.
Okay.
100%. I have watched almost every Matt Damon movie, and like ranging from The Martian, of him being alone on screen, being pretty dry funny, him hardly saying shit in I love the Bourne movies. I'll just like get that out of the way. Like I know they're not amazing. I mean, actually, some of them are actually pretty solid,
extremely good. Yeah,
but like I love the movie. Like, well, until the last. The last one is not good.
That one's bad.
But like the first three, like the first three that are him and like Ultimatum, I actually like really genuinely love as a movie.
Ultimatum might be one of the best action movies ever.
Yeah,
made.
it's one of my favorite action movies ever. And like the way that character changes in those 3 movies that he is in, again until the last one, and he really digs into some acting chops there. Like, and again, it's across a long part of his career since his movies are broken up by a couple years. But like what he's done in that versus, again, I mean, like there's just so much. I don't want to dig into his entire repertoire. We could do a fucking Hall of Fame thing on his career.
Could be its own episode, to be honest.
Matt Damon's a good one. The one that came up, the reason I brought this up is because I thought you would like this one. Somebody brought up John Goodman.
Absolutely.
I was surprised.
Great answer.
But I was like, man, yeah, everything he's in, he elevates it. He rarely is just like, oh, he's just the same guy. He's always like some weird character or other.
Snap right to thought is to Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah, they
like
brought that
immediately.
Up. Yeah,
like he.
And
like
what's
that,
interesting is like it's so different from he just played kind of the straight man as the dad on Roseanne.
Yeah.
And yet his movie career has a ton of variety in it, especially as it goes on longer.
Yeah, and again, in Cloverfield Lane, he is horrifyingly scary.
Sure.
And that is just a throwaway prequel, crappy alien type movie that's supposed to be mostly like a horror type thing. He elevates the hell out of that movie for like absolutely no reason. He's just in it and he is terrifying.
Yeah.
And like that's like right away when you said him, like again, we just watched him in Righteous Gemstones. I finished the series and it's like, holy shit, the last season people might not love quite as much, but it is an ode to John Goodman as an actor.
Yeah.
The more I've thought about it after having watched season 4, it is just, we let John Goodman, who is a Hall of Fame all-time actor, sit as a straight man in the background a little bit of Righteous Gemstones for 3 seasons, and they chose to put him on display in the 4th season quite a bit, and that was a really, really good. That's a good answer.
Yeah.
The first one I think of, Heath Ledger.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
especially when he started getting out of his like
Pretty
teen
boy
heartthrob
yeah.
stage.
essentially, yeah.
He was already good there though too, but
I think of like the differences between A Knight's Tale and Brokeback Mountain and The Dark Knight, just to name 3, and I'm like, those are obviously The Dark Knight is sort of a magnum opus, and he lost himself in that role to a certain extent, but just in general, everything he's in, especially the latter half of his career, is very different. And there's another one he shares a movie with at one point that I also think of, and that's Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
So Somebody brought up
Yeah.
Gary Oldman for real.
Yeah.
That's crazy, Chris. On the hike, they said Gary Oldman.
And I think there's
And
movies
that's a good
there's
pull.
movies that he's been in that are boring. They are boring movies that because Gary Oldman is in them, I'm like,
Yeah.
I will give this a better chance. Another weird one. I hopefully I'm not wrong, but like I think it's Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
Oh yeah.
I want to think was
It
a
is
movie.
boring, but
It's a
he's
pretty
great.
boring movie,
Yeah.
but I'm like, damn, he's like really interesting. I'm not wrong. Like, he's in that movie. I'm thinking of the right thing, right?
I'm almost positive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like that pops up as a random movie. I'm like, I literally went to go see that boring like spy like talkie drama movie because Gary Oldman was fucking in it.
Yeah.
And it's like I literally forget. Again, these movies are forgettable in a way, other than they made lots of money. But like Gary Oldman's Sirius Black and fucking Harry Potter, and every time I rewatch those, I'm like, boy, we really wasted fucking Gary Oldman on about like 35 minutes of Sirius Black being those goddamn Harry Potter movies.
Yeah.
Holy
Kind of a
fuck,
shame.
what a fuck up that was.
I think like Cillian Murphy is, and
He's
especially
getting
now,
up there too.
I think he would have been a good choice, and then he won an Oscar for Oppenheimer,
Yeah,
and I was like, okay. That,
So I went back and showed Raya 28 Days Later for the
Yep.
first time.
yep.
Because she had never seen it, and 28 years later came out, and we're gonna watch that when it's soon when it's cheap for us to easily watch to set up for the fact that that's a series he's gonna be in, and then the next sequel to that. And I'm like, you Raya, as a person who loves English shit and watches Doctor Who constantly and all this type of stuff, I'm like, you've never seen this movie? Like she likes horror movies. I'm like, look, this movie doesn't have like the greatest all time like 100% Rotten Tomato score, but I'm like, this movie's fucking amazing.
No, I think it.
I think it's
not
only
100.
It's like
but,
in the 80s or so. And I was lower than I actually thought because I think that movie's amazing.
That's great for horror. No, dude, it's 20 Days Later, one of the best horror movies ever
Yeah,
made.
and so I went back and watched it. I'm like, this is the Cillian Murphy I have known since he became Scarecrow. Like this is
Yeah.
I watched this a long time ago because this sounds nerdy and pretentious as shit, but I watched that for a film study class years and years ago.
You're allowed to.
As douchey. Technically, I am a film minor.
study.
Yeah, as funny as it is, like my minor actually is in film studies, which is fucking really funny. I
Oh.
think when we get into shit like this, but it just sounds so douchey.
Right. Oh, talk about the composition.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this is what he is, like who he was before he was Scarecrow to me, and I'm like, this guy is fucking unbelievable. It's like again one of the reasons why like I got so excited for Inception. And I still to this day I'm like, man, we really wasted Cillian Murphy.
You did
in
waste him
Inception
in Inception.
quite a
Although
bit,
he's
man.
great. He's great.
He's
in
great
it.
for what he
He
is.
does
but
exactly
he's-
what he has to do.
yeah,
but he's
but I'm
barely
like-
fucking
But
in
I'm like,
it.
man, we really wasted a really charismatic guy to be the boring straight guy rich man.
One of the reasons Batman Begins takes a slight edge for like a movie, Batman movie I'll go back and watch more than any other is his role as
His
Scarecrow.
role, for sure.
It's so good.
Do you want to watch him like a reel of his like display of what he can do in there?
Oh yeah,
basically.
it's fucking it's great. And then Oppenheimer, obviously, he's a good one. I really like Florence Pugh. I think she's a little too young now to put her on the Hall of Fame, but like she's great.
Yeah, we've gone
in everything.
we've gone really actor heavy on that. I'm trying to think for an actress level, like who I
Yeah.
get behind right away.
Hmm.
I have to think about that.
I mean, like
However.
Meryl Streep is pretty.
Yeah, like again, you could dive into that, sure, but like I feel like it's an
that's
easy answer,
Yeah,
and it's also like she's not in a that sounds shitty, but like not in movies that are like my favorite type of thing.
I guess
Okay.
Emma Thompson is someone I would go to on the women's side.
she's usually pretty good. Yeah, I mean, Meryl Streep was in doubt though. Oh, you know who's really Philip Seymour Hoffman's like
Dead.
I know he's dead.
Thanks for
Well, so
bringing
what?
it.
You're not allowed
Because
to.
Heath Ledger's also passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I listened to a podcast that goes back and it's stupid. The Ringer's Rewatchables podcast, and they went back and did Along Came Polly a couple months ago. That I listened to, and they just took a detour off on Philip Seymour Hoffman being in that while doing other shit, and I'm like, we got robbed of the chance to let Philip Seymour Hoffman do comedy more because he was such a fucking good dramatic actor.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, man, it kind of sucks that like we didn't get that because he's so fucking funny in that kind of just throw away whatever comedy. It's not bad comedy, but it's just
he started in comedy, didn't he? And then he switched more because Along Came Polly was earlier
it's like the mid 2000s. I think it's in the
in his career, though. I mean, like, is that? Am I wrong on that? And
I feel like that was in the middle of his career. Am I totally
that could be.
Along
It
Came
totally.
Polly is 2004.
I mean, what's like 2 movies later or 3 movies later? I thought he did something real like serious around that.
Well, he was this is not real serious, but like I will say, Mission Impossible 3, he steals the
that's
entire
what I was-
movie.
and that's
I was
a
gonna
good
bring that
example,
one up too. Yeah.
Because that's not like drama, like Oscar aim type.
No,
of
but like
shit.
in a movie with Tom Cruise where you are better than any stunt and
yeah.
any other actor in the movie,
that's a very good point.
Pretty cool.
People bring up that scene where that just is there's so much tension in that scene. It's like 7 or 8 minutes straight of, we get to the point where we have Tom Cruise basically pleading.
Yeah.
And again, this is a big budget action movie, and yet like Philip Seymour Hoffman is acting the shit out of it.
Yep.
You're right.
So,
I mean, because he's also into like Hunger Games and shit like that, and I'm like,
and he's still good. He's good.
I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like he's just this throwaway part into the Hunger Games. All of a sudden, it's like, shit. It's like that's a big fucking deal that he's in that.
Yeah.
But you've got me like thinking really hard of like, like I want to make a list of like who between actors and actresses of like, no, when they're in shit, I'm like, I'm gonna make a point of doing that. Again, I lean into as a nerd for like Wes Anderson movies, especially the earlier part of his career. A chunk of the people that are in his stuff, I got to being in the habit of seeing a lot of the time, just because I don't know. I just fucking like I watched the Royal Tenenbaums. It was like, oh my god, this is so much my type of humor, even if it's not like prestige, amazing Oscar all over the place thing.
Yeah.
But that type of vibe and some of those actors, and then when they branch out to not being in just Wes Anderson weirdo shit, I watched a lot of those people over and over again.
I'm trying to think of the actor that I want to say who is not in a lot, but is always very good. Benicio del Toro is pretty good, but Javier Bardem. He's not in it like as prolific, but like he was in the Bond movie. He was extremely good. Obviously, No Country for Old Men. He was terrifying. So he's really solid. He's also really funny. He was in a Conan episode. Just as like a normal guy. Maybe they were acting, but they were really funny together. So, yeah, exactly. Philip Seymour Hoffman. He was in Red Dragon.
Willem Dafoe.
Somebody brought up Willem Dafoe. Man, Chris, it was like you were on the hike.
Yeah.
They did bring up Willem Dafoe, and it's correct. He's always so good.
Yeah, he's an example of being like he's in Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou for Wes Anderson, and like, he's in that as such a good character. I'm like, I'm gonna start watching all that shit, and then we get into like the Spider-Man hilarious part of that type of thing. He was in another, again, fucking nerdy film study shit. He was in this Australian movie where he's just like a sniper going around. I'm forgetting what the title of it was, but it's like he's just in it by himself for like most of the movie.
Oh, okay.
It's just
he was
it's
a sniper
an Aussie.
in John Wick.
No, it wasn't that.
Do you remember that Willem Dafoe was in John Wick 1? Because that's weird.
But it's a really weird movie, and I'm like, that was like I had a huge appreciation for Willem Dafoe after that. I'm like, he's just in the movie, alone for a lot of the time, hunting something. It's some weird independent Australian thing.
Tell me about this. If this perception of Willem Dafoe is correct, because
and then there's the Lighthouse again, as we talked about earlier.
So he was in Spider-Man, and I want to say what was so interesting for me is I felt like at the time when Spider-Man 1 came out, he was like an actor, but like. He was in like kind of like blockbuster movies, him, but he was always like fine.
He's just a guy who kind of looked like an evil chin, basically.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. He was in that some weird movies and whatever. He's kind of like Nick Cage, sort of back then.
Kind of cultish following in Boondock Saints.
Yeah. And then by the time the new Spider-Man comes out, he's like this prolific, high-end actor. He's been in The Lighthouse. He's getting ready to be in Nosferatu.
Yeah.
He's in all these like really high art movies.
He was in the movie I just watched with Emma Stone. The weird.
Oh yeah.
You didn't like.
Yeah.
You did not like the movie.
It was okay, but yeah, he was in that. And
he was with Mark Ruffalo, who I referenced earlier.
Yes. But it was so funny being like, oh, he was kind of like a generic actor back then, like big name, and now he's bringing this like gravitas to No Way Home, and you could tell, and he kind of stole that movie too.
It's interesting because as they cross paths, Alfred Molina was also known as like a really well regarded actor when he's in the second movie. He hasn't done a ton since then. He also comes back for No Way Home.
Yeah.
But it's like they had divergent paths. I would say Molina was probably more well-known at the time, and now Dafoe has kind of had like a rocket strapped to him.
Yeah.
In the 20 years since.
Yeah, Molina hasn't done a whole lot.
That was why it was interesting that he did come back for No Way Home, and it was cool that he was going to do that. I like misguided thinking like I thought he like took some time off for like a reason or something along that lines of like.
Did it have to do with like a
family?
I thought it was a family related thing
where he just kind of chose to ease back his schedule a little
think
bit.
you might be right.
That's what I had thought I read.
Yeah, that could be.
I'm trying to see if there's a reason. I don't see one quickly, but
While you're looking that up, Chris, Doug brought up Christoph Waltz, and I think what he is in, obviously, oh my God, Inglourious Bastards. He's great. And then I look at some of his other roles, and I don't know if he ever achieves like that same level.
No, you weren't okay with like his role in like Django.
Oh yeah. He was great in Django. I forgot he was. Leo steals that movie though. Who is also maybe a consideration for this Hall of Fame because he's very.
Yeah, sometimes yes, and sometimes I don't know. Sometimes
Give me
I
a
feel
bad example of Leo that you think like where he's just kind of being Leo or even not very good. Because he was in like Revolutionary Road.
I'm like, if I dare to say The Revenant, I might get shit. But I'm like, I mean, it was just it was just a weird movie.
He was good though, but like Wolf of Wall Street, he was intense. But
yeah, sometimes I think you go in with the preconceived notion of some of his personal life stuff. Sometimes when I watch him now,
oh well, yeah, he's kind of an asshole,
like that's why I'm like I get it's not even a role. It's like him and the things I know about him that starts to get carried in. But you're right, because then I think of like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and I'm like, fuck, man, he was so goddamn entertaining in that movie. Like, and you catch me on that, I'm like, yeah, no, you're fucking right. Like,
yeah. And speaking of that movie, Brad Pitt has he's also an asshole in real life, but
yeah.
like he's
as we are in the middle of dealing with right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I watched him in like Bullet Train. And then I watched him in the goofy little Apple movie with Clooney where they're just both hitmen.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah,
apparently in F1 he's really good. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah,
but
that's what everyone seems to say. And I mean, I rewatched the Ocean's movies a lot because I like that series of movies as much as just background noise type movie stuff. And you're like, shit, yeah, like there's enough really good Pitt performances over and over again where I'm like, no, I don't think Brad Pitt's just playing like himself or some shit like that over and over again. I think he does a good job.
Good in that movie. Steals the shit most of the movies.
In which
I
movie?
think the Ocean's movies.
Which one?
I think Matt Damon.
That's
really good
I was gonna
to bring us full circle. I think
I was going to say
he's great and he's
there's,
funny.
There's,
so,
a,
like, he's
there's
like,
an influence, by the way, of those three movies and how he steps up in those three as well that I wasn't going to get into. But like I said, we could do a Matt Damon Hall of Fame thing, and I would just sit there gushing over like, holy shit, are we actually really lucky that he became really, really good at acting? And not a shot at Ben Affleck, but Matt Damon's better.
Man,
like
Robin Williams was Chris. We should bring
Robin
back
Williams
this.
is a really good example of it too. Who again?
Yeah.
I get shit because I don't love Robin Williams as much as everybody else does. I get tired of some of the comedy shtick, but then when he does dramatic shit, and he's taking shit seriously, I'm like, that's the Robin Williams I actually like watching. I don't find him funny as other people do for like some of the stand-up stuff he did. That actually doesn't work for me nearly as well as the drama shit.
What about like Miss Doubtfire though, where I feel it's like the perfect in the middle.
That is totally fine.
Yeah.
That movie is a good, like I'm like, no, that's a good, because there's a mix of drama
manic
stuff.
Yeah.
His manic, spastic, it's a lot of it, honestly, is his stand-ups.
It's why he's very divisive as far as whose line is it anyway. He's only in one episode, and it's one of the most referenced in the entire history of the show.
Yeah.
Because he is off the goddamn rails.
Yeah.
And in some ways it works because it's improv and it's frenetic and it's quick. So some people love that episode he was on. Some people are like, oh my God, like it was overwhelming. Like it's just too much. Yeah. It's the same idea with, I think, some of his comedy.
For sure. And that's what I'm saying. Like, no, you put him in drama stuff for me to watch. I'm like, no, I'm right there. I'm like, he's an incredible actor. I'm like, I just don't find him nearly as funny as other people do. But Mrs. Doubtfire is a good example. The character is, there's a whole fucking design of like why he's doing that stuff, that manic type of energy. And so it fits the idea of it. Would I want to watch like 3 versions of Mrs. Doubtfire, or like he tweaks that comedy and stuff over and over again? I'm like, no, not really.
Yeah, so like, not Eddie Murphy, doing the same.
Honestly, like it's like I don't find Eddie Murphy nearly as funny as a lot of other people do. Like, it gets old.
Most people felt like he oversaturated, and like, he's making a little bit of a resurgence, I think, kind of with some recent movies.
You want to give me the first Beverly Hills Cop? Absolutely, that movie's fucking great. But as we edge into, I guess some of it's funny just because it's so bad, it's kind of funny. Like when he gets into his Adam Sandler stage of like, let's just make shit, so I can cash some checks over and over again. Like even like Nutty Professor type of level. I'm just like, no, like we're getting into it, or Dr. Dolittle, like that type of shit. I'm like, I can be entertained by this. I'm like, I don't think this is good by any stretch. But
what
like
about Mulan though? And Shrek. He's actually great
Man,
in both of
Good
those.
in Shrek.
Voice acting, there's just a difference to it.
Yeah.
I think because we're in a different, literally a different world, and like I can give some leeway for it.
Well, they're not his vehicles either.
Yeah,
I think
well, there's that too.
yeah.
It's just interesting too because both him and Mike Myers have not done a ton in the last 20 years besides coming back to Shrek.
For Shrek.
Yeah. You have Mike Myers with Austin Powers, which I think is great
Yes,
for the most part.
Sure.
And then he did like the Love He had
The
some
Love Guru is
the
real
Love
bad.
Guru
Yes.
is terrible. And even a lot of Austin Powers is bad too. But like, there's enough for me that works that it's still funny.
Yeah, I mean, you just invent new bullshit characters that he plays, and it's like, okay, well, he's doing a slightly different version of this, so
Yeah.
you can handle it.
Yeah. Anyways, so we came full circle, and then we went a little bit more, but that's okay.
It's an interesting conversation you guys had on that hike, though. I'd like to point that out, along with the who do I actively avoid and who do I try and actively make sure I watch.
Yeah.
Because again, I finally came up with an actress, and again, it's funny because I didn't like her early on. Some of the stuff like Emma Stone's acting and some of the stuff that like with that I cannot say his name.
Oh, the director.
The director of those couple movies that are just really
Poor Things was the
Poor Things. And then
The more
the
recent one.
the one in the Queen one that I'm horrifically blanking.
The Favorite.
Like I love those two movies so much. I'm like, oh, Emma Stone might be in the category of like, no, maybe you'll actually start watching almost anything you're in, because if you can entertain me in that weird type of presentation, I think I can handle it overall. She's also in a couple other things going back, which has been tying to Ryan Gosling a couple different times.
Yes,
probably helps.
She was
that.
great in that movie. Crazy Stupid
Love, which is an incredibly excellent like rom-com movie.
Easy A was great.
Exactly. There's I started to get into her shit.
The House Bunny, she is great in it. Actually,
I go all the way back to like Superbad, tying back to Seth Rogen.
Superbad, yeah.
Tying back to Seth Rogen, and it's like she's actually an actress where I'm like, even though she has obnoxiously googly eyes that distract me sometimes, shit, like that's a step like that. Rachel McAdams is in that category, where I have picked up on a lot of the things she does.
Which brings it back to Ryan Gosling.
It does bring it back to Ryan Gosling.
And Tilda Swinton, who brings us back to Ryan Gosling.
So those are just actors. I felt bad like not being able to name an actress for a while, but I'm like, who have I watched multiple times? Like, oh, those are a couple of them pretty easily off the top of my head.
Yeah. You remind the last one I want to say, because you brought up this movie and he's in it. Meth Damon. We talk about Matt Damon, also Meth Damon. Jesse Plemons is like great in everything he's in. For real. Black Mirror, Breaking Bad, even that Western, he was the best part of that shitty Western with Benedict Cumberbatch that I didn't like at all.
You name those, and I go right to Game Night, which is, again, it's a kind of random comedy. It has Rachel McAdams in it.
And Jason Bateman. Yeah, it was good.
And Jesse Plemons is literally like steals that movie because of the dry-ass humor he has with the cop and the twist in the end. And that was a movie where I'm like, I should probably be watching anything this motherfucker does, because that was an unbelievable performance for a stupid comedy movie.
Did you see, I'm thinking of Ending Things?
No, I did not. It was
not good, but like he is captivating in it.
So does he need help like picking movies, basically, is what you're saying, if a handful of things are not good?
He's good in everything.
What I'm saying, he's good, but you've been like, I didn't really like this movie, but he was great. I didn't really like this movie, but he was great.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
that he might need a little bit of help.
Yeah, but you know what? He was also even in Killers of the Flower Moon.
That's true. Yeah, that's
right. So keep an eye on him. He's great.
I think that's all I had. He's also,
Chris,
newer.
We have to watch Fighting with My Family. I'm surprised that has not come up in like. You closed your eyes sarcastically. What was that?
Why do you want to watch that?
Because there's Florence Pugh's in it, and I thought I was trying to appeal to you guys being wrestling fans.
Yeah, but he hates The Rock.
I hate The Rock, yeah.
I didn't know The Rock. Don't worry about The Rock. He's probably barely in it.
He is probably barely in it. You are correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did that movie actually get reviewed? That movie got reviewed better than I think we assumed it was going to.
It got reviewed really well. I wouldn't have it on my radar.
All right, that's fair.
Plus, she's great in it because she's great in everything. Yeah,
it's the least Rock movie I was
surprised it
find.
hadn't come, because we're talking about watching the Pressure Luck movie, which we should.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we could watch that in the trip.
Yeah, Walton Goggins is probably a good example of I'll watch anything he's in now.
Yeah, right.
That's another good one.
That is a good one.
We talked about him recently, but yeah.
Yeah, Fighting with Them. Why don't we watch that too?
Well, we have like in 3 weeks we have a fucking 10-day vacation being stuck with each other.
That's what I'm saying. So let's do it.
Man, who knew there was gonna be so many good wrestling movies? Because we got The Wrestler, we have Fighting with My Family, whatever.
You want to do a wrestling movie marathon?
Got the Iron Claw.
Iron Claw.
Ready to
was
Rumble?
good.
We got Ready to Rumble.
Did you watch Iron Claw?
Yeah, I bragged at how much I loved that movie
Okay,
when it came out.
I was just double checking.
It made me be like, oh, Zac Efron doesn't suck.
Yeah, even though his jaw, he's saying like, "Oh, it's natural." I'm like, "No, it's not.
natural.
It's a
But-
miracle.
No,
natural.
come on, man."
It's natural.
Yeah, good movie.
I'm gonna go and put that on our planner for our next month.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
We'll make Maisie watch it.
Let me make them watch Ready to Rumble.
What's
please.
Ready to Rumble?
Horrible.
You know what? We should
The
probably...
death of the WCW is what Ready to Rumble is.
I'm gonna say we should watch Rounders because Chris has brought up Rounders like every time we go.
Is this
Never
what we should
done
do?
it.
Is we should just dive into the
It's-
catalogs of actors we just talked about how much we like
Oh,
and
that
we
could
find
be-
stuff
oh, that's right. I forgot
we didn't-
about
that we
that.
haven't
We
actually
didn't
watched.
mention Edward Norton, but some people would put him on that list.
Yeah,
I very much like Edward Norton, even though
Yeah, he is
again he
good.
might be also historically a butthole to work
he
with.
is. He's a horrible
Yeah.
person to work with. I don't know about in
No, no,
personable.
I think it's mostly to work with.
Yeah,
I think
I
he's
think-
annoying on set to deal with.
Yes.
I don't think he's actually a dick.
I think in real life he's
regular
a
life.
good guy.
He's
or,
just
like,
whatever.
fine, but yeah. So yeah, so we should do Rounders. Chris always brings it up, and we always, we never find time. We made Chris suffer through Succession. We should watch Rounders.
I would be better influenced to go back and either watch movies I haven't watched in like 20 years or have missed in people's catalogs. I think in a group setting than I would on my own.
Yeah,
I'd be held more accountable to actually watch it.
Yeah. So okay, we should do this.
Okay.
I think Kelly's gonna be there. I don't know if she's seen any of these movies, all of them, none of them, but I guess we'll find out.
I mean, a couple of them are going to be new no matter what. I mean, none of us saw Luckiest Man in America, but she was interested. I don't think. Well, none of us will have seen Happy Gilmore 2 because we're waiting on it.
Yes, we're
Is
hoping
it gonna be out by then?
Yeah,
It's out in like 2
Oh,
weeks.
God.
Yeah, it's
okay, so
coming.
it's just gonna be heavy movies this trip then.
could be. I mean, we don't have a ton of TV that we had set aside. Last time we got really lucky with a few different things, but
I'm also subscribed to like every freaking streaming service, so we'll be able to and I think you are too, so we'll be able to log into this shit.
And we have a little bit of challenge to watch, so that's when
Yes.
Chris and Callie can be like, we're gonna actually go have fun doing something.
we'll go
Anything
fight
else?
the bees outside. And we also last time we talked about X-Men '99, which was really really good. Like we watched the Scott Pilgrim show and it was the cartoon, and it was also fine.
Yeah.
even good.
Yeah.
It
was
paled in comparison to X-Men '99,
Maybe
so I
you
think
guys
it
will
got
just-
short shrift. But
Yeah.
You guys will just watch the studio. It's fine. And you'll be like,
I'd
oh my
rather
God,
watch
this-
Shrinking if anything else. Like there's something on my list that I haven't gotten to and was thinking about it. Shrinking's there, but
Nominated for an Emmy. Apple, good job.
Yeah, that would be. I would watch the studio, but I think if we do something like Shrinking, that works for
I haven't watched it either.
because
so
I think
probably
I'm gonna like the studio. I don't know if Chris is gonna love the studio. I don't
I don't
don't
think
think
he
I'm
likes
going to love this.
I just have
I
a
don't think
feeling,
This is
you're
again
not gonna
that
love it.
that pitch has consistently been mostly to Sean because I think he'll have an appreciation for the horseshit Hollywoodness.
And we got to
of
think,
it.
what movie while Dave is there should we watch? And
Space Jam 2.
Yeah, we did that
Exactly.
once. I mean,
Exactly.
he would probably like Happy Gilmore too.
I think they probably Happy Gilmore too. I think he might like the Pressure to Luck movie as well.
Happy
Yeah.
Gilmore 2 also might be a wrestling movie because there's like 3 different wrestlers in
And
it.
he
Yeah.
doesn't mind watching Rounders, I'm sure. So any of those
that's
should be
fair
good.
too. Okay.
Oh,
So yeah,
But
we'll have options there.
We'll save him for
I'm
fighting
gonna
with my
go
family.
through some of these actors' stuff and be like, I never watched this and this movie. Like, not find shit movies, of course. I'm gonna I'm gonna pitch like 5 and be like, what about this stuff?
So we're gonna go see Odyssey then. That's super high on the list.
When is that out?
Well, like next year.
No, okay, that's what I
yeah.
was
like a year from now.
Yeah, I was like,
not
I
even
was like-
more than that.
I was
but-
like, this year?
yeah.
Yeah, I was like, sorry, you confused me for a second. I was like, wait, what?
No, I think I read an article that tickets. I don't know why you would do this. Tickets soon go on sale a year ahead of when the date is, and
God,
I'm
yes.
like, what are they? Why?
Trying to
But-
get some early
Stop.
infusion of cash, I guess.
yeah, but Matt Damon.
Yes.
Oh, okay, you
Yeah.
knew that.
No,
All
no.
right. Okay.
I'm,
Well, anyways.
I'm pretty much signed up for almost every Matt Damon movie. Like, I'm dead
Okay.
serious. Like, that is for the rest of his career. I think someone asked me like who my favorite actor is. I'm like, well, who makes me laugh? Blah blah blah. And I think I landed on it's got to just be Matt Damon.
What about We Own a Zoo?
Well, there's that's bad, obviously. There's premises. They're also just like, did you took a check for that? Did you really need to make that stupid based on a true story thing into a movie? And
What was
you
the one where he was wearing the wire? Sorry, Chris. We need to wrap. I just keep.
did. Which wire?
There's one where he's not sympathetic.
He's stupid.
And he's kind of stupid.
He's kind of stupid.
And he's
the
like,
Adjustment Bureau? No, that's the wrong thing. Fuck, I know exactly what you're talking about because he's an idiot and he keeps busting
they try to
people.
put him, give him a wire
Yes.
to bust other people, and then
and
he
he's
ends up getting in trouble.
and he's
I
really
think.
dumb, and he's actually really funny in that mediocre movie. And whatever it is, I definitely watched it. The Informant! Exclamation! point.
Yes.
I don't know why I thought of the.
I didn't
Adjustment
like that
Bureau.
movie that much, but he was good in it.
Yeah, speaking of movies based on a true story, if I remember right.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, that is indeed a movie that happened that he was in.
Well, this was a good week.
And he was really good, but it was not a good
It was
movie.
a good week to not have Dave because the Rounders, he can say Matt Damon. I don't know if he can listen to another Matt Damon movie. Is he going to know Good Will Hunting? I don't know. Probably not.
Offensive.
I think he would know Good Will Hunting.
Okay.
Has he not watched the Bourne movies?
Probably.
Like, I'm sorry. Like,
Probably
who
not.
doesn't like those movies? I'm sorry.
He's not here to defend himself, so.
Well, he
We'll never
sucks,
know.
and his dog sucks.
That's his fault. He
So
abandoned
let's
his
circle
dog. He abandoned his
all the way
family.
back.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah.
Even Bo has seen those movies, for God's sake. Alrighty, that's the end of this episode. Thank you for tuning in, especially if you watched live on YouTube. That's the best way to do it. You can join the live chat. We'll put some of your messages on the screen, pretty much all of them, unless, you're making like 17 puns in a row. Nick. So other than that, I pretty much flash everything up there so you can be on the show with us and we'll respond and stuff like that. So if you want to do that, that's youtube.com/@grayareaslive. But the podcast still exists as well. You can find posts for that and all of our old archive stuff at grayareas.live. We will see you next week.